What's up, YouTube? How we doing? Yes.
Hi, I'm DeviDubz, and this is my life. It's a little crazy. Let me tell you how I got here.
DeviDubz, that's me. Welcome back to part 2 of my ranking videos. I just got done recording part 1, which was the best songs of 2023. And now we're here with part 2, the best albums of 2023. Except we're not doing 30, we're only doing 10 with a few honorable mentions. I don't want to waste any time. Social medias are here down in the description below. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, do all that good stuff. Follow me on my social media. Like I said, like, subscribe, share with your friends, do all the social media. Blah. Before we get into the top 10, I do want to highlight some albums and EPs that did not make the cut. These are my honorable mentions. Starting with Appetite for Disaster by Isla. She is always so sonically creative, and she's always knowing like how to construct a project. Every single song, literally Appetite, she ate on every single one. Next up, we have Three of Us, the EP by Flo. This was kind of like their down year in terms of them like not giving us a lot, but I think they're gearing up for their debut album and they're gonna give us a lot more in 2024. My favorite on the project is Change. Change and then Three of Us are probably my two favorites. Next, we have Fruitcake, an EP by Sabrina Carpenter. This was a Christmas project that she just gave us at the end of the year. She knows how to make a hit. She knows how to make music sound good to the ear. Santa Doesn't Know You Like I Do is one of her best songs, period. The next honorable mention is Think Later by Tate McRae. This album also came out very recently at the very end of 2023. This is her sophomore album and it was a good project. I like that she gave us a mixture of like those soft ballads, slowed down songs that kind of pull at your heart, but then the upbeat bangers. Oh, I'm sorry that you love me. Change my mind up like it's origami. And then last on the honorable mentions list is Pink Friday 2 by La Nicki Minaj. This album came out at the same time as Think Later, at the very end of 2023. And it was such a highlight moment, was able to be one of the biggest moments of 2023. If I had to pick any of the honorable mentions and put it into the actual top 10, it would be Pink Friday 2, but I couldn't take any of the spots in the top 10. Here we go with the official top 10 list. Also, I do want to just let you guys know that there's really no rhyme or reason as to why the albums are placed where they are. Like sometimes an album will be higher because of its sequencing or because of the tracks themselves or just because of the vocals on it or just how I feel from listening to the album. Like there's not really one specific way in which I ranked the albums. So just keep that in mind. Coming in at number 10, we have BB Angel by Tinashe. Now, I don't know if this is considered an album or an EP, but regardless, she is 3 for 3 with her projects. Songs for You, 333, 10 out of 10. BB Angel, 10 out of 10. She knows like how to always stay creative, even though she's been in the industry for a really long time. I feel like she still knows how to stay fresh and creative, but still make music sound unique. Like songs like Who else do you know can make a song called and literally say over and over?
Do you want me right now?
And I like how she can give you songs like Gravity that's so light and airy and vocal, and then give you these trap bangers like Needs or even Treason. Yeah, that's the project. Coming in at number 9, we have Something to Give Each Other by Troye Sivan, which was one of the more unexpected albums. I didn't really think that this album would make it into my top 10, but I found myself playing it a lot. Not even just One of Your Girls, which is my favorite song off the album, but I find myself playing the album from start to finish a lot. And I'm not an album person. I'm not even like a playlist person either. I usually will just go to an album and pick the song that I like and then leave. And then go to another album and pick the song that I like and then leave. It's very rare that I sit down and play a whole album from start to finish. Like, the most prominent albums that I do that with, probably Renaissance, of course, Emails I Can't Send, SOS. That's pretty much it in terms of like recent releases. Oh, Harry's House. I can't think of any other albums where I actually like sit down and play it from start to finish though. I really can't. But with this album, I find myself starting all the way at the beginning and then finishing and then starting it over. And that was shocking for me. So this album definitely deserves a spot in my top 10. He sounds so much more creative, sonically free. This is a very good album. Coming in at number 8, we have My 21st Century Blues by Ray. And now this is why I just gave that disclaimer. Because technically speaking, if we're talking about not my personal taste and just like this album in general, this is probably top 3 albums on this list. But based off of what I listen to, like my own listening habits and the type of music that I like, this album is placed at number 8 because of the other albums that I listen to. But I can acknowledge that this album is potentially better than those albums. That's why I said there's no rhyme or reason to this list. So if you're in the comments right now kind of getting hot at me and saying this album should be placed higher, I potentially agree with you. You know, I'm not gonna disagree and say that the album deserves to be where it is. But in terms of like the DeviDubz taste, this album landed where it should have landed. This is such an excellent album. I haven't listened to it in a while. Releasing this caliber of an album as your debut album speaks volumes as to like the type of artist that Ray is and where she should be, because I feel like she doesn't get the hype she deserves. And like I said, I haven't listened to this album in a while, so I'm a part of that, but I still acknowledge that this album is a really good album, giving you the hit Escapism.
It's a heartbroken bitch, high heel, 6-inch in the back of the nightclub, sipping champagne.
5-Star Hotels, which is my favorite. Thrill Is Gone. Light Switch. Like, it's literally banger after banger after banger, and then she gives you these highs and lows, giving you like vocally pleasing and crazy moments like Oscar-winning tears.
And cry, baby, would you really go ahead and would you go ahead and just cry?
She has like an introduction, which is the intro, but like in terms of like the first song on the album, that's a crazy way to start your album. She is so crazily talented, and then she even gives you the vulnerable moments like Ice Cream Man and something anxiety. What was it called? Is it environmental anxiety? Yes, embodied dysmorphia. She gets all cylinders going in terms of like vocal creativity, being open and vulnerable, lyricism, production. Like every aspect of this album eats and hits the way that it should. Coming in at number 7, we have Speak Now, Taylor's version. I know that this is kind of cheating. I said this in the song reaction too, because one of the songs from this album was in my songs of 2023. But like I said in that video, this was my first time ever hearing this album. Back in July of 2023 was my first time ever hearing Speak Now, Taylor's version. I've never even heard the original one. Hearing all these songs for the first time this year had a really big impact, especially considering I saw her also. Like, I'm such a live performance person, so knowing an album is getting released around the era of that person touring makes me into that artist that much more. So like listening to this entire album this year was not just me listening, it was an experience. It was a whole experience around it. If I can say, it might be one of my favorite Taylor albums now. Like, I feel like I can somewhat confidently put it in my top 5. Top 3, I don't know, but top 5 for sure. Yeah, you have songs like, a lot of people don't like Speak Now, but it's so catchy. I like Mean, Dear John, Enchanted, of course. I think that might be the only song that I truly knew before I listened to the album. Foolish One, and then Long Live. I'm not gonna say much about Long Live, because it is in my Songs of 2023 video. It's so excellent.
And bring on all the pretenders, I'm not afraid. Singing long live all the mountains we moved at the time of my life, fighting dragons with you.
Last Kiss, also fell in love. The fact that Last Kiss and Long Live are like right next to each other, I love when songs that I'm obsessed with are like right back to back. Coming in at number 6 is Jaguar 2 by Victoria Monet. This album is, I forgot about this one. This is another one where I can listen to it from start to finish. I can literally put this album on and the album ends, and then by the time I'm like realizing that the album's ended, I'm already like 6 tracks on my next listen. It just flows so well and it plays over. Like, she makes music that really puts me at ease. That's how I feel. Like, I feel at my calmest when I listen to her, and this album does that excellently. Coming in at number 5, we have Scarlet by Doja Cat, which is very surprising because when I first reacted, I enjoyed the album, but after that reaction, I didn't really listen to it. Like, I didn't pick it up to keep playing it. It's only recently that I saw Doja Cat like 3 weeks ago.
Now fuck you, ho! I can stuff you, ho! I'm yelling 666!
Oh my god! I thought this was a classy party.
twice, once in Columbus and then in Detroit, that this album really put it back on the map for me. This is gonna sound controversial, but I can listen to the first like 10 tracks and then I'm starting the album over. I don't really like the last few tracks. I think Agora Hills is like the last one that I really listened to, or Can't Wait. But there's like a few songs at the end that I don't particularly listen to. Okay, so Can't Wait is the last song that I listen to. I don't like Often. Like, I'm just gonna say that right now. I don't like that song. I don't like that. Don't even tell me about it. I don't like that song. I don't care. Love Life, Skull and Bones, Attention Eats, Balut Eats, and then What You Mean Freestyle also eats. But because those songs all come after Often, which is like where I stopped listening, I will start the album over. And I'll even listen to Paint the Town Red, which is a song that I don't really care for, but I don't hate it as much as I thought I did. But this track, let me say this track run for you right now. Demons, Wet Vagina, Fuck That Girls, Ouchies, 97, Gun, Go Off, and then Agora Hills. Shut Yo kind of ruins it. Shut Yo is in between Go Off and Agora Hills, and it kind of ruins it. But if you just skip Shut Yo and go straight to Agora Hills and then Can't Wait, that track run eats. But the funny thing is, even for the songs that I don't particularly like, I find myself rapping to them. So like, I don't really like Shut Yo, but I'll find myself doing the got a lot of things to be happy about. Rich body, bitch, where's Ratty Rich? Put you in a box, body, bitch. Like, I don't know if I said that right at all, but like, that's what happens. I'll start just saying like random small parts of a song and they finally grow on me. It just hasn't happened with Often yet, and I don't think it will. If she had condensed the album, took a few songs out, this would be a 10 out of 10 album for me. But it is still so good, and the fact that I heard it live makes it even better, and that's why it landed so high on this list. We have In Pieces by Chloe, her debut album. Even though this album was not what she originally gave us, I'm still very pleased with what she gave us. Like, I know that this album is very different from the Treat Me and Have Mercy and For the Night. I can see For the Night kind of on the album a little bit. But because the album is so sonically different from the singles, I don't know, it kind of messed with our minds in terms of like how we feel about the album. Like, I feel like it wasn't well received because of what she had given us before. But I think that that album has so many hits. Worried.
I'm not worried, you're not worthy. Oh, you hurt me, don't deserve me. 'Cause I'ma love me better at the end of the night. I've been busy working, you hit me, no service. You know I stay curving right like that.
I Don't Mind, Feel Me Cry. That song. Like, I can't lie, the song is good. The song is good. She sounds excellent. I'm not gonna name the song. In Pieces, like, the album actually eats. I just wish that it wasn't so like muddied by just the stuff that happened around it. Obviously, it's not Chloe's fault. She had a really weird hate train for some reason. This was right around the time when her album came out and she did the TV show Swarm. And she was getting backlash from that literal 5-second scene that wasn't even like a prominent scene. Like, I don't know. For some reason, this entire era muddied the release of her album and muddied the reception of her album, which is not fair. Because if you listen to the album for what it is, it's a great album. It's a really good album. There's a few songs that I'm missing that I want to highlight. The intro, Chloe. Yeah, Pray It Away, Body Do, Falling For You, Feel Me Cry, Make It Look Easy. How can y'all listen to songs like Make It Look Easy and like not feel sorry for this girl? Yeah, I'm not gonna go on a whole tangent because I've already done that, but I'm gonna stop it and just let y'all know that this album eats. And it deserved better treatment. At number 3, we have Portals by Melanie Martinez. This is another album that wasn't really well received like I thought it was gonna be. I thought this album was gonna be like big for her, but it kind of fell short. People listened to it the first few weeks that it came out and then kind of moved on. That hasn't happened with me. It's still stuck with me. I like how transitional the album is. Like, she made it flow very well, and it's clearly an album that deserves a visual, which she's slowly giving us, because we just got the 3rd visual, and I heard that she was gonna make a full visual album, but she doesn't have the budget for it, so she's just gonna give us music videos for each track, which is still a great thing because the music videos are flowing. And just the cohesivity of it all, the way that she constructed it, and just like the instrumentals themselves, like she's so creative. This is the most creative that I've ever experienced her, so that really pulled me in. She's creating a whole world with this album. Battle of the Larynx, Evil, Powder, which is a deluxe track, Tunnel Vision, Void. Every song on there eats. I don't think there's really a song that I don't like. If I had to pick my least favorite song, I want to say it's Leeches or Moon Cycle. Nymphology eats. Womb is also kind of low on there. But Fairy Soiree eats. Light Shower. I remember I used to play that a lot. That's like my sleepy time song. It's on my sleepy time playlist. Like whenever I need to go to sleep, Light Shower is coming on. Yeah. Portals is an excellent album. Very cohesive, very visually pleasing, sonically pleasing. Coming in at number 2, we have Endless Summer Vacation by Miley Cyrus. Miley gave us this album and left. She gave us this album and then dipped. She gave us, you know, the music video for Flowers. She gave us the music video for River. And then she gave us the music video for Jaded. And then she said, I gotta go, y'all. And I'm not touring it either. Like, she... I find myself coming back to this album often. I can replay it. There are a few that I skip. Not a few. There's literally only one song that I find myself not listening to the most. And it's Wonder Woman. Not even because it's bad, but it's just... Sometimes when I'm listening to this album, I'm not in the mood to listen to a slow, like, emotional song like that. Except the one that got released after the album, which is on my best songs of 2023. I'm not gonna say it because I want y'all to watch that video. But this album is so C-word. Giving you Flowers, Jaded, Rose-Colored Lenses, Handstand, River, Violet Chemistry, Muddy Feet, Island. Yeah. Endless Summer Vacation is one of those albums where I can recognize that, like, it's not the best on this list, or just like the era in general. Like, I still say that Plastic Hearts is a better album and it's more cohesive and the era just seems better. Don't get me wrong, Endless Summer Vacation is a good album, but I more so put this album at number 2 because of how it makes me feel, with specifically like the songs that I listen to, like Jaded, Rose-Colored Lenses, Island. When I first listened to this and did a reaction, Island was my number 1 song. And then River grew on me. That song is so C-word. You have When the Floor is Wet and the Lights Come On But You Don't Wanna Leave.
Stay a while, don't deny the body chemistry.
And then the Electricity and Handstand. Like all the songs are good, but the way it makes me feel when I listen to it is so good, so excellently good. So if y'all argue that this album should be lower, I can see why you say that, but at the time that I made this list, I felt like it deserved number 2, and I'm kind of sticking with it being a number 2, because it's just a highlight album for me that came out this year. Coming in at number 1, my favorite album of 2023, my most listened to album of 2023, even though it came out during the second half of the year and already made its way to number 1, is Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. That little girl knows how to make fucking music. That little girl knows how to make an album. That little girl knows how to put her foot on bitches' necks when she's in the studio. This is an album I listen to over and over from start to finish. Mind you, I'm not even a teenage little white girl. But this album goes so hard. This album eats. And like, she's just so compelling with her storytelling. And she knows how to give you different vibes. Like, she'll give you that grunge sound, then she'll give you the folk sound, which I need a folk album from her. If she ever gives us an album that's full of songs like Can't Catch Me Now, somebody check on me. The way that she's so diverse in the songs that she makes. Like, she gives you the stripped down, soft song, like Making the Bed, that just feels very like wide and open, but also soft, with this muffled beat. And her voice is so prominent and like echoey, like, I don't know, songs like that. And even stripped down songs like Lacy, which I didn't really like at first. Not that I didn't like it, but it was one of my least favorites. It's grown on me a lot. Like, I'm looking at this track list right now and there's not one bad song. There's literally not one bad song. Starting the era off with Vampire, an excellent song, showcasing her vocals and the grunginess of Bad Idea Right, giving us the soft segment like Making the Bed and Logical, going straight back into that hard grunge like Get Him Back, Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl, Pretty Isn't Pretty. Like, she killed this album. She killed this album so hard, like it's so dead, so deceased. Mind you, I've never even been in love enough or been in love to, like, I don't, that's what's so confusing to me, like how I relate, not even relate, relate's the wrong word, because I don't really relate to anything that she's singing about. She's singing about like just being a girl, growing up, being a girl, being a woman, dealing with like romantic relationships, dealing with her inner feelings and how she feels about herself and how she's perceived by other people and just like her insecurities and stuff. Like, I don't relate to that, but just off of how the album sounds itself, it's already so good and it's my favorite album of the year. It's so sonically pleasing. Yeah. I couldn't put this at any other spot but number one. If SOS doesn't win the Grammy for Album of the Year, this album deserves it. Those are my only two that I want to win, to be honest. Absolutely Olivia. She's 2 for 2 when it comes to albums. She's able to pull me in every single time. I don't understand why, but I've just learned to accept it. It's so good. She's so good. These were my top 10 albums of 2023. Let me know how you politely feel about my ranking down in the comments below. Remember, there's no rhyme or reason to this list, so if you think something should be lower or something should be higher, I may or may not disagree with you. I'm not gonna fight you on it. Follow me on my social medias. They are here and linked down in the description. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, click that notification bell so you're always notified when I post more content. Happy 2024. We're only gonna go up from here. Thank y'all for always supporting and loving me, and I can't wait to get more videos to y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I am light as a feather in the... Yeah.